In this video, we're going to discuss all the different variants of Tesla that they're currently producing because there's too many options, and I'm also going to share our personal experience with every single one of them. By the time of us recording this video, Tesla is producing two main Tesla variants, Model 3 and the Model Y. Indeed, in America, they're producing also the Cybertruck, but since we are Europeans and the majority of the world is not able to enjoy this vehicle so far, we're not going to mention it for the sake of this video. But the Model 3 and the Model Y have two different categories. One is the premium and one is the standard or the budget version. And now I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into each category and what they bring you for your money. First, let's start with the Model Y, which is the best-selling EV out there. Behind me, I have two vehicles. On my right, I have the Model Y Standard. Technically, Tesla doesn't call it Standard anymore, just Model Y. And then I have the Model Y Premium. As you can see from the outside, there are tons of differences, but also there are differences under the hood, and also the interior is kind of changed. Now, the Standard variant is the cheapest Model Y Tesla has ever produced. It starts under $40,000 US, which is insanely low, but also it has a all-wheel drive version, which is a little bit more expensive. Now, both vehicles though come with an LFP battery, which has 60 kilowatt hours state of charge, which is going to give you approximate range of about 350 kilometers. Now that's more realistic range because we have tested this car, and if you want to see the video that we are testing it, make sure to click on the top right banner because the video was pretty great. Now on the outside, as you can see, the budget version doesn't come with the front LED bar compared to the premium model, which has one, and same thing happens on the inside. The seats are made out of fabric, not leather. Also, they're not ventilated, and there is no panoramic roof, something that a lot of people are missing, but hey, they need to kind of find a way to bring the price down. Another big difference between the standard and the premium model are their motors. So the standard one, no matter if you choose a rear-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive variant, they're going to be just slower. This car in particular can do 0 to 100 in about 8.5 seconds, which is the slowest Tesla performance that we have ever recorded. However, this car right there, it's an all-wheel drive car, correct? But it can do 0 to 100 in about 4.2 seconds. And we also have a video for this, so if you want to watch it, make sure to click on the top right banner. Now let's go over the premium variant, which has four different options. You can get the rear-wheel drive option, which starts at under $46,000 US, which is a great bargain. You can get it as an all-wheel drive variant, a performance model, which is the fastest one Tesla is producing from these two type of vehicles. And then there's also a Model Y long variant, which is about 22 centimeters longer, and it has a third row at the back. But this car right now is only being produced in Asia, and I believe only countries like Korea, China, and Australia are enjoying it. But I believe soon everywhere this car is going to be available. Anyway, let's start with the rear-wheel drive option, which I believe is the best one out there because it has only one single motor, but it has the same battery capacity as every other premium variant, which is about 80 kilowatt hour state of charge, which is going to give you about 500 kilometers of real range. Now Tesla is claiming it's going to be about 620. To be honest, I don't think anybody can reach that, but we clocked it at 500 kilometers to be exact, and I'm pretty happy with that result. Now, if you get an all-wheel drive variant, even though the battery is the same, since it has a second motor at the front, the car is just naturally a little bit heavier, which means your range is going to be slightly lower. So you can expect about 480 kilometers of realistic range. And that's if you drive with the speed of about 110 and 120 kilometers an hour. If you're one of those people who like to drive fast, EVs hate fast speeds. So your range is definitely dropped significantly. And also the numbers I'm giving you right now are for the summer season, because during winter time, the cars, and the EVs especially, are not performing well at all. So if you can do 500 kilometers during the summertime, you can probably do about 400 during winter season. Anyway, why I like the rear-wheel drive model? Well, because it's the cheapest one, because it has the best range, and I'm a person that doesn't care about accelerating fast. The rear-wheel drive car can do 0 to 100 in about 6 seconds. The all-wheel drive model can do it in about 4.2. Is that a big difference for me? Sure it is, but can I live without it? Absolutely yes. Inside, the car is absolutely the same. No matter if you choose an all-wheel drive version or a single motor one, you're still gonna get the premium audio system, which comes with 15 speakers and a subwoofer. You're gonna have the leather seats, the ventilated seats, the great RGB strip which runs across the entire dash and the side panels, and the trunk capacity is absolutely the same on both vehicles. Now, speaking about the speaker, which is something very important that I don't want to miss, is that the standard variant right here, it doesn't come with a premium audio system, which means it only comes with a 9-speaker system. For a lot of people, that's probably not going to be a big issue, but there are people out there who care a lot about music. So if you like the best sound quality, the premium model is the way to go, because there's no option on Tesla's website to upgrade your car with anything premium. So even if you want to put 21-inch rims on this car right here, Tesla is not giving you this option. If you want to put premium audio system, you don't have that option either. Now, one of the best things about Tesla is the software, and the best part is that no matter if you buy the cheap or the expensive variant, the software is going to be absolutely the same. There's going to be some features missing from one of the cars compared to the other one, but that's because it doesn't have the motor or it doesn't have some specific system, such as off-road mode. The cheap variant doesn't have one, but it has a slip start. So is it a deal breaker? Not at all. Both vehicles you can control through their native app, and you can execute numerous actions like precondition the interior of the car and also open the trunk and the frunk, which is pretty spacious even on the cheaper version. Let's test it with one of our colleagues, which is going to jump inside this car and see if he can fit in it. That's pretty big. Let's check it on the other vehicle, which has a slightly larger capacity for the trunk. I would say it's only about 20-liter difference, but as you can see, the width of it is kind of the same, but the depth of it is slightly larger. Now that looks like a comfortable place to be, right? By the way, the trunk capacity is great on both cars. You can control it through the app, and also there is a button at the back and you can fit so many things to it. That's one of the best things about Tesla Model Y, is that it's extremely spacious. Once the trunk is open, you have this amazing great space that you can fit everything inside the car. You can control the seats automatically with these buttons right here on the premium version, but not on the standard one. And you also have extra space right here. Most of the cars have a very tiny one just to fit some cables in, but here you can fit everything, even my colleague, but I'm not going to do it this time. Now, I briefly mentioned about the interior differences between both cars, but you deserve to see it. As you can see, this is the standard variant, and it's pretty basic, but I like it because it still has the absolutely same display that the premium variant has. It's extremely responsive. You can do anything through it. The steering wheel of Tesla is one of the best. I really like how kind of grippy it is. I prefer it much more than the tiny ones. But one thing I don't like is the miss of the ambient strip that runs across the entire dash. Right now you see one. This is our personal one that we make. If you want to check it out, go at enhauto.com. That's our website where we produce a bunch of different unique accessories for Tesla vehicles. So we have added ours to this car because without it, it looks pretty simple. Peppy, this is our editor, please put some stock footage of this car without the light strip just to show people how basic it looks like. And the second thing I also don't like is the cup holder situation. As you can see, the cup holders are always being exposed compared to the premium model, which you can cover them and it looks way more flush with the car. And then there's this open space. Now, for some people, it might be comfortable because you have something to put there. Personally, I never have placed anything there, so I'm kind of missing this central console piece, which the premium variant has, where I store everything inside from my keys, my card, my ID, and everything else. Now, I still have this area right underneath my armrest, but you know, I kind of prefer the central console of the premium model indeed. Now, there is one big thing that I cannot skip on, and that's the seats. Tesla has decided that the standard Model Y is going to come with fabric seats, which doesn't look bad. To be honest, when I first heard that Tesla is moving into making seats out of fabric, I thought it's gonna look outdated, but when I saw it in person, it's not that bad. And I drove about 4,000 kilometers with this car already, and I like it. They're pretty comfortable. It's just not the leather one, which is way more easier to clean and maintain in general. So would I choose to have leather seats inside this car? Yes. Is Tesla allowing me to? Not. Also, me and my passenger are not able to move these seats by using the buttons on the side, which every single car has. Tesla has moved the controls right here on the screen, which is not so intuitive, but as I said, we are a company that makes more accessories. We have a solution for this as well. And also, these seats are only heated, and I'm talking about the front two seats, the one in the back are not, and they're not ventilated. Compared to the premium model, they are perforated, which means they are able to do ventilation, which is great for summertime. And the rear seats are also heated, which is great if you have passengers to drive all the way at the back. Now let's move to the back and see what's the situation there. Now at the back, the room situation is absolutely the same between both cars. Now this is my driving position. I'm 6'1" or 185 centimeters, and I have plenty of room to be here. However, I kind of don't like the space here because there's no panoramic roof, and that creates a big shadow here at the back, so everything looks a little bit too dark. And maybe that's my personal fault because I'm used to be at the rear seat of a premium Model Y, which has a panoramic glass and the interior looks extremely bright, and here it kind of looks sad. Also, in the standard model, there is no rear infotainment screen anymore. At the premium version, there is an 8-inch screen which you can control not only the music but also the fan speed, the climate control. You can turn on your seat heating and so on and so on. Here though, you don't have this one. You can only kind of adjust the airflow at the back, and if you want something to be turned on or turned off, you have to ask the driver for that. One short segment that I forgot to mention is the big difference between both cars is the suspension system. On the Model Y Premium, the suspension is way more comfortable, way more premium, and on the standard model, it's a little bit more stiff. So whenever you go over bumps, you can definitely feel it way more on the standard version, but the premium one, it's top notch. Now I know that this was a lot of info in such a long time, but let me break it down to you in under 60 seconds. What is the main difference between the standard and the premium Model Y? The standard one comes in two different variants, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, but both cars come with the smallest battery pack, which is 60 kilowatt-hour LFP battery, which is going to give you a 350 kilometers realistic range. The interior is still extremely spacious, but it's extremely basic, yet the software is great and the large display is still present. The premium model comes in 4 different variants: rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, performance, and a long variant. But all of those 4 cars come with a large battery pack, which is 80 kilowatt hour, and it's going to give you a realistic range of about 500 kilometers, which is much greater than 350 from the standard model. The interior looks way more premium. It has the leather seats, ventilated seats, and bunch of other stuff which are included in the package, and all of this comes in a price of under 46,000 US dollars. But that is enough comparison between these two cars. Let's see what is the difference between the Model 3 Standard and the Model 3 Premium, and then compare them to the Model Y. And here it is, the well-known Model 3 Highland. And you probably know about this because Tesla is producing this vehicle since late 2023. As you can see behind me, I have only one vehicle, and that's because the standard and the premium models are absolutely identical from the outside. Again, just like on the Model Y, the Model 3 divides between 2 variants. The standard one though has only one option, and that's the rear-wheel drive variant, which starts under 37,000 US dollars. And it comes with only one type of battery pack, which is an LFP 60 kilowatt, which can do a unrealistic range of about 530 kilometers claimed by Tesla, but the realistic one is going to be more close to 390 kilometers. Now the premium variant, which is this one right behind me, starts at 42,000 US dollars, and it's a rear-wheel drive option. Tesla is claiming that this car can do over 700 kilometers. I have watched so many videos online, and to be honest, I've never seen anybody doing those. The more realistic range for that car is going to be about 620 kilometers, which is still impressive because Tesla is using a new technology for its battery, and the battery pack is about 79 kilowatt hour. Then there's a all-wheel drive variant, which starts 47,000 US dollars, and then there's a performance model, which is starting under 55,000 US dollars, the most expensive one you can buy. And even though it's using the same battery pack, just because it has two strong, powerful motors, the car can do way less in range. The more realistic number is going to be under 500, but Tesla is claiming it's going to do about 600 or slightly under. Now, as I mentioned, on the outside, the standard and the premium models are absolutely the same. The main differences are that the headlights are not matrix ones on the standard model. Now, the good part about the Model 3 is that no matter if you get the standard or the premium model, you get a panoramic roof, and that's the best thing that Tesla has probably done for this car, because it looks extremely more spacious compared to the standard Model Y that you just heard me complaining about a few minutes ago. Now, about the ride quality, same as on the Model Y, the standard one has a little bit more rougher suspension system, which you can definitely notice whenever you're going over the bumps, but the premium variants are coming with way more better built suspension system, especially the performance model, which comes with adaptive damping, and you can control it through the main screen and make it a little bit more firmer or a little bit more softer depending on what you're doing with your car. Now, when it comes to the interior, I'm sitting right now in the Model 3 premium variant, and as you can see, this car comes with leather seats, which also have heating and ventilation, something that is missing on the standard variant. The standard, just as on the Model Y, comes with fabric seats. Only the front seats are heated and the rear one are not. But in this car, the rear seats are also heated. Great thing is that both cars come with the same steering wheel, which is also heated, and absolutely the same infotainment system, which is the 15-inch display. And again, Tesla is doing a great job with its software, so the software on both cars is identical. Now, the premium variant, which is this one, has the rear screen at the back. The standard model doesn't have one. And one big thing I want to mention is that the audio system splits into 3 different variants when it comes to the Model 3. The standard version comes with 7 speakers, the rear-wheel drive premium version comes with 9 speakers, and all the other variants, the all-wheel drive and the performance ones, comes with 15 speakers inside the car. This is a big thing because there's definitely difference between the car that has the 7 speakers because it doesn't have a subwoofer, and the car that has a 15 speakers which has a subwoofer. Obviously, the audio quality is pretty different. However, even the 7 speaker is still better than on many different cars. And if you remember from the part that I mentioned about the central console of the Model Y, here the central console is the same between the standard and all the other variants. It has these sliding compartments, which gives you plenty of room to store your stuff. And also I can hide my cup holder, which is something great for me because I don't use it as a cup holder. I always store something here and I want to see it, and that's why I can hide it. In terms of how I feel sitting in this car, well, it's extremely comfortable. The Tesla seats are extremely well made, no matter if it's the standard model or the premium model. Now, when it comes to the space at the back, there's no difference between the standard Model 3 and the premium Model 3. There's still enough room, but is it as comfortable as in the Model Y? Not at all. Yes, I do have enough space between the front seat and my knees. That said, I'm sitting way lower, and there's way more room between my thighs and the seat itself. Also, because this car is lower, the room between my head and the sunroof is way shorter, and I can definitely feel the heat coming through the glass. Now, I do enjoy having glass here because, again, it makes the car look a little bit more spacious, but on a sunny day like this, it's not the most pleasant experience, especially whenever you first enter the car. Speaking about entering the car on a sunny day like this, Tesla has a great feature called cabin overheat protection, and that works on every single Tesla model out there. You can set it through the app and tell the car whenever the cabin temperature drops or increases over 30 or 40 degrees Celsius, the AC starts running so you can keep the cabin inside cooler. Same as on the Model Y, on the Model 3 you can control a bunch of the things through the Tesla app, and one of those things is the Frunk, which is still pretty big size. Let's check if our colleagues Triani is going to fit inside. Now, as they mentioned, it looks pretty much the same, but it's definitely not as deep as on the premium Model Y. Remember, this is the premium Model 3. The standard one has pretty much the same capacity, only 20-liter difference at the front, but the boot in the back is absolutely the same. Let's go check it out. Now, no matter if your car is standard or a premium variant, both trunks are powered. You can just press a button, it's gonna open up, and as you can see, there's enough space to hide a body inside. But the best thing is that if this body is available, he can show you that there is an extra space right underneath here, and as you can see, it's pretty deep. You can even put a luggage here. Thank you, buddy. I know I gave you a lot of info about the Model 3, but let me break it down once again in under 1 minute. What is the difference between the standard Model 3 and the premium Model 3? The standard variant comes in one single option, which is a rear-wheel drive with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery, which is going to give you a realistic range of slightly under 400 kilometers. Now, the premium Model 3 comes in 3 different variants: rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and a performance model. The rear-wheel drive model is going to give you the longest range, which is going to be around 600 realistic kilometers. Now, if I had to choose which Model 3 to get, I would probably go with the standard version of Model 3 because, again, under $37,000, that's a great price. And on the outside, there's no difference. On the inside, the differences are too small. I can definitely deal with the fabric seats. And if something is missing, like the ambient light strip inside the car from the premium model into the standard model, I can definitely bring it back through the sexy products that we make. So if you want to check it out, I'm doing a shameless plug. Just visit enhauto.com and you're going to see what we're doing for every single Tesla model out there. So what are my final thoughts? Is the Model 3 better? Is the Model Y better? Is the standard version better? Or is the premium version better? Well, for me personally, I would choose the Model Y before the Model 3 just because of my size. I'm a larger guy, I need more space, so the Model Y is definitely more comfortable for me. But if you don't care about this extra space inside the cabin and you prefer having sportier feel whenever you enter the corners, the Model 3 is the car to go with because the car itself is slightly smaller, lighter, it sits way lower to the ground, and it's a little bit more fun to drive. So maybe if you're even a younger guy who is about to buy his first electric car, the Tesla Model 3 is going to be a great choice for you. And at a price under $37,000, come on, that's a no-brainer. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you made it to the end, and if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the best time to do so because we put a lot of work into these videos. I know it was a long one. I hope I made it a little bit clearer what are the differences between every single Tesla that Tesla is currently making.